Now, give it up for the fabulous Meehan.
Thanks, John. That would be me. Actually, something coined by Rob. So, I just wanted to see if I could sort of Pete Townsend this. Thanks, John. And I love I will tell you a brief story. There's no rim shot here, but it was a moment that changed my life and made me appreciate Las Vegas in a whole new light. Just based on that. I think it was 1986, and They play those things when the band comes on stage, and are you ready to rock San Diego? And everyone goes crazy, like you just called their name. But all right, I'll hit 1972 later, and you guys can go.
Campbell!
But anyways, I went to Las Vegas, and it was sort of a grueling journey. I had a motorcycle at the time, very fast bike. I rode it too fast. The radiator exploded. It was one of the first water-cooled bikes. I was in black leather. I was so exhausted by the time I got into Las Vegas that I accepted the free tickets. Now this is the old Vegas. This is not, this is not the Luxor and the Bellagio. This is the nasty little hotels and casinos that still, you could see them in the original Ocean's 11. Those nasty things. And I got a ticket because I was like the billionth customer that day or something. I got these 2 tickets to go see John Davidson. You all remember John Davidson, no doubt? From like That's Incredible or one of those kinds of shows. Anyways, I go in there.
He had his own show.
Did he? Yeah. Oh wow! I can't believe the FCC allowed it. It's one of these horrible, it was the big room in one of these old casinos. I think it was the Sands, and there are all these. There's so much vinyl in there that the fire marshal would just freak out now if they found a room with that many, combustible polymers. But anyways, I sat in there. The room is heavy with smoke and choking old people. And up on stage comes John Davidson. And he's got that pencil-thin microphone that's like a yard long and has the little ball on top. And he comes on in his Sanzabel trousers with the, the kind of leisure suit that really hadn't been in for a while. And he says, ladies, I'm going to make love to each and every one of you in song. Well, I actually spit out my drink and food. I went into just paroxysms of hysteria. I think it was the time on the road. I was eventually asked to leave. So that's the only thing that now we get back. But while we're talking about Robin and getting to know Robin, I had a very embarrassing experience one evening on the radio. Robin probably remembers this. I met Robin, and I'm going to talk about the transition stuff. I was thinking about not doing that, but John just said penis.
Yeah.
So it opened the floor to all possible topics. So anyways, we're doing a show. I've known Robin for a year, maybe 2 years, and we're doing a show on Saturday night. And some guy calls, and you can still hear him on Schnauzer Logic. We got a little piece of his audio. So apparently, Robin had on a previous show shared his trans past, which I was unaware of because I don't listen to his show. Anyways, I come on the show, and the guy calls, and he's being what I perceive just, he kind of gender-phobic prick. He's being, well, I want to know why you dress up like a girl. Why do you want to live like a girl? What's wrong with being a man? You're just not a man. I know nothing about this. And the guy's just going on, I would take you to a tractor pull, this sort of thing. And I just go at him, you are such a belligerent little puke. You clearly have so many issues I can't even enumerate them here. Why are you saying this about my dear friend Robin? Why would you infer that he is a transgendered person? Well, he doesn't wear dresses, you prick. I just stayed this side of the FCC. So we get rid of the call, we go to a break, and Robin looks at me and he says, well, you know, I did trans, and so I take this in. And we come back, and I start this fiery crusade of, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any sort of gender expression in this country. You know, I can't believe that someone would be judgmental about that. Thinking the whole while, I had just slammed this guy for being a jerk.
Right.
I felt terrible. And that was really my first and worst faux pas about anything that happened. It's not really funny, but it's something that's always on my mind when these issues come up. I don't have one-liners written like John. You know, he's a professional comedian, and he sounds like Ben Stein. That's a plus. You can't write that. But on a more serious topic, does it have to do with Ben Stein or John Davidson or whatever? Robin, over the years, has done so many kind things for me. Generous to a fault. Generous with his with toys that I may have needed or found fun. Generous with his knowledge. If there were electronics issues, computer issues, legal issues, my wife still hates him for showing me how to burn a DVD. DVDs are now spread all over that. Why isn't this labeled? What's on that?
VHS, actually.
What do you mean? But I think what Robin has constantly done for me, because we talk a lot about issues that come up in pop culture and in politics. We talk about them on the show. We talk about them in real life too. That's a lot of what we just, you know, shoot around. It's always compassion. Robin is an incredible sounding board for me to hear when I am not being compassionate, when I am not being decent, when I'm not being false, when I am being righteous or judgmental. And I think more than anything else, more than your incredible generosity of material items and knowledge, that part of you, the part that keeps me connected with my own humanity and my own empathy, is what I have valued most about our friendship. And it is something that I have never seen wane in you. No matter how difficult your life was being at any given time, and I mean, we all know, everybody here, that there have been very difficult episodes in the last few seasons of Robin. They changed the theme song, and that's just...
So I have the season pass on TiVo.
The Clem Snide thing had to go, but obviously there have been all kinds of things that he's had to overcome, and even in those moments of sometimes real darkness and occasional despair, he was never cruel or judgmental with me. He never was tired or too stressed or strained to hear about something that was important to me, that was going on in my life. I'm assuming that everybody is here because he has extended that same courtesy and kindness to all of you. And it's just meant a lot to me. And I love you very much.
We will be editing this for the Wisconsin Library program. People know. It's going to be edited before it goes on the air.